Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. This is Morel Apparel. In this video, I'll be showing us how to draft a basic bodice block. So the first thing to do is draw a rectangle with width equal to half hip measurement plus 1.5 to 2 inches. Or you can use any measurement that is the largest between the bust and hip circumference. The length of the rectangle is equal to back waist length plus waist to hip measurement plus 1 inch. The hip measurement is between 8 to 9 inches. Divide the rectangle into two and label center back CB and center front CF. Now come down on center back by 1 inch and draw a straight line. So this is the point O where our measurement will begin from. So measure down back waist length of 17 inches. Square that also to the center front. The center front is actually 1 inch higher, so we'll make that 18 inches. Now square the line to center front. This is the waistline. For the bust line, we insert half back waist length plus half an inch. Half back waist length is 8.5 plus half an inch equal 9 inches. Square that also to the center front, bearing in mind the 1 inch difference. Square the line to center front as well. Next, we insert 1/5 round neck measurement. The round neck measurement here is 16 inches divided by 5 equal 3.2. Come down by 1 inch neck depth. Square that to that point of 3.2. Now form a box. Now go in 3/4 inch. This will determine where the curve will end. Now form the neck curve. Next we insert half back width measurement. The back width measurement is 16 inches divided by 2 equal 8 inches. Square that to the bust line as well. And then draw a vertical line. This is the arm side depth. Now we determine the shoulder slope. Measure down 3/4 inch and then draw the shoulder seam. Next we determine the midpoint on the arm side depth. Now mark that point and then come in by 0.1. Now we insert quarter bust measurement plus half inch ease. The round bust measurement is 40 divided by 4 equal 10 plus half an inch 10.5. Now we measure the area around the underarm point. Here is 2.2 inches. We then insert the same 2.2 inches on the arm side depth. Now we draw a guideline of any length at an angle 45 degrees. Insert 1.2 inches. And then we form the armhole curve. Let's determine the dark point. So we insert 4 inches bust pan. This is back width measurement divided by 4. Back width measurement is 16 inches divided by 4 equal 4 inches. And then we connect the dots with a guide line. Down 1 inch from the bust line and mark, and go up by 2 inches from the hip line and mark. Then insert half an inch on either side of the guideline for dart intake. Now draw the dart lines. So the dart intake here is 1 inch, half an inch on either side of the guideline. So through that line, so let's insert the waist and hip measurement. Quarter waist, round waist measurement, 8 3/4 inches plus dart allowance. Quarter hip measurement, 10 1/4. Now we connect. The shape of our bodice. Now let's work on the zipper area. On the waistline, we go in by 3/4 inch. This is done to eliminate zipper bulge. And then we connect from that point above the bust line, like so. And then from that point also to the hip line, like so. So we are done with the back bodice. Now insert half back width measurement, just like the back, 8 inches. Also on the bust line, 8 inches. And then we connect with a vertical line. So we insert the same 1/5 round neck measurement like we did the back, 3.2 inches. But here we're coming down by 3.5 inches. Then come in by 3/4 inch. This is also to determine where the neck curve ends. Well, let's just form the curve already. So we insert the shoulder slope of 1.5 inches. And draw the shoulder seam. On the bust line, measure down 1.5 inches. Measure up 1.5 inches as well. Square the same 1.5 inches on the arm side depth. Then connect with a straight line. So the same 1.5 inches we went down with here, we'll insert the same 1.5 inches on the side. And then connect with a straight line as well. So this is chest line and new bust line. This is to help with the dart of our front bodice. Come down by 0.5 inch on the waistline because the front waistline is usually longer than the back waistline. Then connect with a straight line. Now this is the new waistline. Every measurement on the front bodice on the waist will be measured around the new waistline. Next, we determine the midpoint on the arm side depth from the shoulder point to the chest line and mark. And then we go in by 1/2 inch. On the angle between the arm side depth and the underarm point, draw a guideline at an angle 45 degrees of any length and insert 3/4 inch. On the bust line now, we insert quarter bust measurements, the same we inserted at the back, 10.5 inches. That is plus 1/2 inch ease. Now we draw the arm curve, or armhole curve rather. Now let's determine the front dart point. Just like we divided the back width by 4, here we are dividing the chest width by 4 for the bust span. The chest width here is 14.2 divided by 4 equals 3.55. So I'm inserting 3.6 approximately. Then draw a guideline. Now bring down 1 inch on the new bust line and mark, and go up by 2 inches from the hip line and mark. Now we're inserting the dart intake of 3/4 inch on either side of the guideline, altogether making 1.5 inches. So we connect the lines like so. Now we insert quarter waist measurements or quarter round waist measurements, 8¾ of an inch plus the dart intake 1.5 inches. Then we insert the quarter round hip measurements, 10¼ . Now we connect to form the shape. So when cutting your pattern, make sure you add sewing allowance to the neck, the shoulder, the armhole, and the side. Okay guys, we are done with the bodice block. So if you find this video useful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I post a new video. Thank you.